Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Champion Dentist Podcast. I am excited today to have Gage and Max with GM Media with us to talk about all things video and the powerful tool that it represents for growing your dental practice. So guys, I am delighted you're with us. Gage, Max, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then let's get right into taking a look at some of the video you created. And that'll be a great way for us to get a feel for why dentists should be considering and using video to grow their practice. So welcome, gentlemen. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been doing this.
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for having us. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to talking today. So what we've been doing is social media content for the past 3 years, specifically for dentists. So really what we're masters in is creating short form, really engaging content that doesn't, it's not trying to sell anybody, but rather connect with people, right? And the results we've seen it, and we'll go into this later, obviously, but is just beyond anything I've ever seen for marketing. So, Mike, I don't know if it's a good time to share the videos right now, or?
Yeah, number one, we're talking about return on dollar spent that potentially is, it in reality, you've seen this, I've seen this, 10, 15 plus times return on investment. And typically we're happy with 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it's not a guarantee, but quite often we are seeing these type of results. And a lot of it has to do with the program that you created and I've partnered with you on, where that content is out there frequently, consistently, of a high, I call it Netflix quality. And boy, it works. And this is both on the social media side and the paid advertising side. So let's actually get a sense for the flavor of the ice cream here. Let's take a look at some videos before we get into the nuts and bolts of how this all works.
Okay. All right, we'll start with this one. So just to give a little bit of context, we were wanting to create a very cinematic way of portraying veneers, right? And so one of our doctors, he wanted a video that showcases the emotion behind it. And so this is just one of the examples that we created for him.
Oh my God. I really feel like I'm like in the presence of just an artist.
When I saw his work, I'm like, okay, I want that.
I'm excited. I love them.
All right, so obviously you have the cinematic aspect of it, but it goes to show how much emotion veneers can have on somebody and the effect they can have on somebody's life. So that's one of the examples. Another great example is when we let the patients basically speak for themselves, when we let the work speak for itself. So we just call these patient testimonials, and this is a great example of one.
My name is Jeff Stevens. I like Dr. Brown from the beginning.
Keep up the good work, okay?
Again, very personable, and the staff. That was one of the biggest things, right? Nobody enjoys going to the dentist, to be honest with you. They made it, I guess, as enjoyable as you can for going to the dentist, even if it's just teeth cleaning. Multiple dentists I'd seen over the last 25 years had always discussed because my bite came on top of each other. So they just said, hey, there's something you're going to want to do eventually just for your overall dental health, if that's the right way to explain it. Usually it was orthodontics, if that's the right way to say it, braces of some type. And as an adult, braces never really just, fit. And he had talked about doing the smile design. We probably talked about it for around 6 months or whatever. Never any kind of pressure. When I thought, okay, I'm going to do this, I got a second opinion of doing something like that at my age. But that's what led me to finally say yes. It fit the timeline that I wanted. It fit the results that I wanted. My wife and my children, they liked it, and that was the main thing for me. Again, my smile was my smile. I was confident and comfortable with it, but I do really enjoy this. I like to smile. I have conversations with people all the time, and there's a little bit of a confidence, boost that comes with having a nice, healthy, bright smile.
All right, so Mike, I don't know if you want me to go into any other videos or not, but those are just a couple of examples.
Let's take a look at that. There's one more here. Let's take a quick look at that,
Okay.
and then we can keep rolling here.
Here's why your teeth are aging you. Whenever we do a smile design case, one thing that we are always paying close attention to is how to make the person appear younger while not changing everything about them. It's just in their teeth. As we age, it's pretty common for a lot of people to grind their teeth, and it just makes that flat surface. that makes you look older. That tells me that you've had a lifetime of wear. We don't want that. We like a change in shape, a little bit of a change in dimension or length. That is what youth is. Look at your young kids and you'll see how they have those just little bumps at the end of their teeth. That is youth. And that's something that we bring back in our smile design cases. And it can literally make you look 10, 12, 20 years younger. It makes a huge difference in the way you carry yourself. You just age backwards when you get those little changes in design back.
Well, Gage Max, now's the time to pull back the curtain, right? Let's get behind the curtain, speaking of video, and let's get a better understanding of the process that you follow. And even before that, why video is effective, why it makes so much sense for a dental practice.
Okay, yeah, let's get right into it. So basically what we're going to go through and talk about is transforming your dental practice, strictly by using video marketing and social media specifically. So let's get right into it. Mike, do you want to first talk about kind of what you guys do and what you're all about?
I appreciate that. I mean, both Gold Medal Dental Marketing and the Champion Dentist are the two programs that my company offers. So we do both coaching for dental practices, profit acceleration, helping you go from here to the top of the mountain if that's where you want to be. That's where the coaching end comes in with the Champion Dentist program. And then we also have a full service marketing company called Gold Medal. I'm into sports, so you can see Champion Dentist, Gold Medal. So we kind of have a bit of a sport genre going on here. But the reality is everybody likes to win. Whether you played soccer in grammar school or high school sports or NCAA sports, my whole perspective, my philosophy of business is to help the client win, help them get what they want. So that's what we're up to when it comes to the Champion Dentist program as well as Gold Medal. And guys, GM Media, tell us about you.
Awesome. Yeah, so GM Media, it's nothing sports related, literally just our initials, Gage and Max Media, right? But so what we really specialize in is like I said, short form content, specifically on social media. So a lot of our doctors will ask us, do you guys take care of website? But obviously that's something that we can cater towards if you're needing that. But what we've seen really create this success for dentists is creating this short form content on social media, right? And the great thing about social media is people are going on these platforms for cosmetic things like veneers and to fix problems as far as like implants go, right? And so that's why we really like to tailor towards dentists who are looking for getting more veneer cases, more implant cases, more specific cases, because social media will do a great job at that. And then I'll kind of let Max go into kind of the psychology-based content and whatnot.
Yeah, so I mean, we heavily believe that in order for things to do well on social media, there has to be a psychological driven strategy. So we're tailoring the content so that it appeals to what people are actually interested in, because people don't like to be sold to on social media. They like to feel like they can connect and like the content is relatable and entertaining. And so our content is very tailored to be able to appeal to the masses, not just to, a certain, select group of people. We want it to be able to hit as many people as possible so that the Facebook and Instagram and TikTok algorithms favor your videos and generate the views that, we see right here. We've generated millions and millions of views for our clients, and it's because we're focused on making relatable psychological content that is proven to work. So that's kind of how we base our strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, well, ultimately, let me interrupt here.
Yeah.
Success leaves clues. And what you guys have proven is if you do things properly with your content, you get views, you get the clicks, you get people having that sense of know, like, and trust, which is what the dental practice wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which leads the patient, prospective patient, to raise their hand, wants to learn more, and they wind up engaging the practice. And one of the nice things about video is by the time that new patient comes in, they feel like they already know you. So that's a big deal for people to have that sense of, hey, I'm looking forward to meeting these people based on all the warm and fuzzies that they've gotten from the video content. Now, you guys have seen this as well, right?
100%, 100%. And that's kind of what we wanted to go into is why video? Because it it really is, if we're being honest with ourselves, it's a lot harder to make a video than it is just throwing up a static image or throwing up just an image of you smiling, right? But if a picture is worth 1,000 words, how many is a video worth, right? So what we've seen is just industry wide and not and just in marketing in general is 93% of marketers report that video content works better, right? And it's specifically for that reason, Mike. It's people feel like they can connect with you. They can feel like they can get to know you before they even meet you in person. It's a weird, it's something that a photo could never do, right? You might be able to get a feeling from a photo, but the feeling you get from a video is so much deeper of an impact, right?
Yeah, and if
And
you look at, sorry, oh,
go ahead.
go ahead. So, and if you look at Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, they've all converted from being a photo-based platforms to being video-based platforms. And there's a big reason for that. Like if you're scrolling through social media, 99% of the content you're going to see is going to be video content. And so there's obviously a big reason that, other people are seeing such success with video. It's because that is the native way that people want to be able to consume content nowadays.
Yeah, makes sense.
And with that, it's for the customer so that they can understand your service, your product, whatever it is you're trying to sell. 80% of customers prefer to learn it via video, right? So it's not just blasting a bunch of graphics at them. It's not blasting a bunch of deals saying, "Hey, 15% off," right? It's getting to know who the boss is, who is the person trying to sell me, right? It's getting to know them, not getting to know their product, if that makes sense. And then Mike, this was your stat, but 2 times longer spent on pages with video. I had no idea about that, but it checks out. Like it makes sense. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
video
awesome.
is where it's at, no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure. And then we just wrote down like the three biggest things that we use video for is because it builds trust and authority. I mean, one of our clients here locally, he's mentioned to us like, dude, I feel like I'm a celebrity on all these smile consultations that I'm on. I feel like people are saying they know me and they feel like they're talking to this huge star, right? And I haven't even met them. So it really builds just a great authority when you have that social awareness. When people check your social pages and you have nothing going for you, it gives me no reason to trust you. Versus if you guys have thousands of followers, you get a bunch of engagement on your guys' videos. Like there's so much more incentive to go with you guys because I feel like you have that social awareness, and especially for the younger generation, that is so key. It's almost essential. You have to have that. And as far as educating patients, like we talked about, like it's so much easier to tell about veneers. It's so much easier to tell about implants and what they can do for you via video versus if it's just a text, right? So ultimately, just it drives the conversion that we're looking for. That's why people can get 15 to 18x on return on their investment because of the authenticity that the video brings. So yeah, we'll go from there. So, oh, go ahead, Mike.
Should I go ahead? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and kind of going from there, what our strategy is, social media is super powerful, especially for dental practices, because, dentistry is becoming increasingly more cosmetic focused, and people are really focused on having their smile look a certain way, and they want to, they want their smile to be, their dream smile. And social media is where they're going to shop around for the doctor that's going to achieve that for them. And so social media, like we said, is where that attention lives. That is where people are going to find what they're looking for when it comes to their teeth. And then as well, it's really important to showcase the personality and culture of your office because people are super anxious and scared to go to the dentist. And so showing that you have this great personality and that your staff is warm and welcoming, it really makes people feel less scared about going to the dentist. And then as well with that is social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, they reward, creators that focus on that organic growth. So if you are posting consistently, and with social media, consistency is key, you will be rewarded by the program, by Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. They'll continue to push out your content to more people. And it's just a compounding growth. The longer you focus on social media and post consistently.
And something I wanted to add on that is with the organic, the reason we want to focus so much on the organic is because what Max and I and GM Media, what we're trying to do is build your social awareness online, right? Via social media. So I tell people don't think of us as a marketing agency, right? So Mike, you obviously have a lot more experience on the paid advertising and you've been doing a lot longer than I have, where marketing agencies can take specific content and push it to specific people, right? Via target locations, demographics, they can pick that audience, right? So our whole philosophy is you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So what we really want to be experts in is that organic growth, right? So how do we drive organic patients to your page, right? And that we've come to the conclusion that we really have to hone in on the content. You have to hone in on what people actually want to watch because obviously the algorithm on any platform is going to reward a creator for people focusing on that question and creating content that sparks engagement, questions, people commenting on your videos. It rewards that type of behavior. So really don't think of us as a marketing agency. Think of us as content creators for your specific practice who come in, take care of all the content for you, all the planning, and literally everything in the back end as well.
Yeah, let me just make a quick point here, guys. One of the
Yeah.
things to recognize is that you can go down the path with us where you're using video and you go down only the social media channel, meaning you're not you are paying as a dentist to work with us to get these videos created and posted, but you're not paying Meta or Twitter X for
Yeah.
advertising because it's organic, it's social, it's posted. And you can drive tremendous volumes over time of new patients to your practice just by using the vehicle of non-paid social media. At the same time, if you've got a practice that does all on X, that you really like doing the teeth in a day, you've built your practice for that, you're geared for it, or Invisalign or implants, that's where the addition of paid media
Mhm.
on Meta and Google, emergency dentistry is a good example of that with Google. That's where the paid media comes into play. So you've got two channels with this, and you can start out with the social and then if you want, migrate into the paid, or you can get into both. And I think those are important things to recognize. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great point, Mike, because like it's literally the most cost-effective way of scaling your business. So if you don't have a budget, literally this is something that can be for you because you can start doing it yourself. Like it doesn't have to be this intricate where you have thousands of dollars of equipment of video production and whatnot. You can literally take out your iPhone these days and record a video of yourself, right? So it really is the most cost-effective way. And what we found is when you can leverage organic with the paid advertising, that's when these platforms, that's how they make their money, right? They want creators to create that organic growth and also be doing the paid stuff so that they can
Yep,
get more,
exactly.
right? So it really does work well. So I'll kind of take you through our content strategy, how we manage to take care of dentists across the entire country by first really targeting a specific dentist. So who we work with are dentists looking to extremely scale their business and don't have time to do this themselves, right? So on every sales call, I'll make sure, hey, just to let you know, this isn't rocket science. I can teach you guys these principles yourself, but it's a problem of actually implementing them, right? And actually doing the steps that's necessary to succeed on social media because it does become a full-time job, right? So what we're looking for is dentists who are wanting to scale that don't have the time to be doing this social media because we take care of everything. It's a done for you service. It's not a done with you. So what we first do is we do what's called the game plan call. So we hop on a call with you and your practice, and we want to really do a deep dive into what are you guys offering? What are we wanting to increase cases on? Why should I choose you versus another dental clinic right down the road, right? We want to just drill them with questions so that we can come up with a plan of content to shoot for those content days. And then we fly to the client, we shoot with them for a full 2 days, and we typically not produce enough content for 6 to 8 months, right? So 6 to 8 months, your social media is going to be taken care of with just 2 days of filming. It's intense days, right? But the results are literally social media done for you for the next half a year at least, right? And then from that content days, we take all that stuff, we edit it for you in a very engaging way, and then we post it to all your channels. And a lot of the times people will stop there with that posting, right? They think it's done. But what we want to do is we want to make sure we track all of the engagement. So it's not a one size fits all with social media. We want to see what type of content works well with you specifically, right? So that we can double down on it on our next shoot, right? So we track all these different key indicators so that we can know and kind of better tailor a plan for social media. So really what happens in the long run is your social media game just keeps on improving, improving, improving. If you don't track it, then that never happens. So
Let me just interject here. And what gets created are these short form videos,
mhm.
and there's 3 per week, 12 total for the month on each of these 4 channels: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, right? That's
Right.
a that is incredible spectrum of coverage. And
Yeah.
you're covering the whole waterfront. So that's really good to know. And I want to underline the point that you made a bit ago. Dental practices don't have the time for this.
Hmm.
If they are an extremely large, 7, 8, 10, 12 dentist practice, they may have the budget and want to recruit and have the staff to do this, but it's very rare in dentistry. So, to have someone doing it for you and recognizing that this is not again a 1 month thing, you've got to give it 6 to 12 months, and doing the right things and the iterations that you're talking about, Gage and Max. What we do is we make sure that we identify what's working better than something else. Correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that, I mean, all of that means that in one way, it's kind of set it and forget it, and that the responsibility belongs with us. But the fact is that the practice, they can focus on what they do well, and over time, I'm skipping ahead a bit here. What what you will do with that practice, both when you're on site and after, is you're going to show them how to use their iPhone to create content on their own, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. We'll encourage and teach you exactly what you need to do. And even if you don't have time to edit, that's fine. Send it over to us because it's just constant content that we can repurpose on all of your channels.
well, that I think that's a very important point, because over time, the practice is going to have those reveals, the before and afters, right? And you guys can't be there, the team can't be there every day of the week. So to become, if you will, competent at capturing that content, and it's not difficult, boy, does
Mhm.
that make a difference over time in adding to the power of the messaging that you're getting out in the marketplace. So let's now go to 3 and 4. So once that on-site content is created, or content that gets sent separately down the road that the practice filmed, it gets edited and posted. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's honestly something I'm super proud of. And I'll have Max talk a little bit about this, but I just want to interject one thing is we're producing a mass amount of content, right? It's literally 3 new videos for your practice every single week. So you might think, oh, is quality still going to be there? And something I'm super proud of is like, man, we can show you examples like the quality is there, right? So that's just the great thing about short form content is that you can do a lot more in a short amount of time, right? And so, and still have the quality remain super high. Max, I don't know if you have anything to add on onto that.
Nothing too much, but really just like that, we've built a team of people that are all very focused on the same goal, and that's, producing quality content that actually converts and produces results for your practice. So, I mean, everything that we do with our editing posting is very intentional, very, focused on the end goal. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it with that.
And we have an in-house team. So we don't hire overseas, although it would be significantly cheaper for us to hire somebody overseas to do it. We want editors trained specifically how we learned, right? So we take them in-house and we train them exactly what to look for in all these different posts and what do we use as the hook? How can we retain the viewer for the rest of the video? How can we reward the viewer at the end for watching the entire video? Like these are all principles that we teach our editors to remain and ensure that the quality stays high, right? And then our account managers do a great job at making sure all the content is organized in a way that is highly aesthetic on your page, right? Because we want depending on your goals, We want when the viewer comes to your page for them to say, "Oh wow, they know what they're doing, right? They're experts in what they do, and I want to go see them." So that's it's extremely important, the editing and posting. I would say it's all important, but it's just yeah, it's extremely important.
Well, it's the difference between a video of the family at Disneyland, which is meant for family consumption, and a professionally done video that draws people into the practice who are there to spend a lot of money. It's night and day.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Night and
exactly,
day.
for sure. Okay, Max, do you want to go over this? You want me to?
I can go over it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier as well, but our main focus is that short form content that's going to be posted to your social media. And the three things that we really focus on is extracting the emotion of dentistry. So when it comes to dentistry, there's a lot of terms, there's a lot of big words that dentists like to use when they're describing things, and sometimes that can get lost in translation when you're describing something to a patient. And, when someone comes to their social media, they're not necessarily there to learn what each tooth, the significance of each tooth in a procedure. They're there to, feel something. And so our goal is to extract the emotion of dentistry, which is, the emotion of getting a new smile and how that truly can change someone's life. Like that's what we're trying to, highlight is the life-changing impact that dentistry actually can have. And then on top of that, like we said earlier, is showcasing your personality, your team's personality, and then showing people how, again, how their lives can be changed. So really, those are the three things we focus on, not trying to sell, not trying to, be too, technical about the things we're explaining. It really is just trying to make it relatable to everyone and make it, emotional.
And Mike, so when you go into your own personal Instagram, let's say, right, and you go to your following list, the reason you followed all of those people, I don't know how many people you follow, but let's say hundreds of people, is there was a specific moment in which you realized on their page that you could gain value from their content, right? And so that's the underlying reason as to why you clicked follow. And that's what we want to recreate with all of our clients. We want to say, okay, how can we provide value to these patients viewing my site? Is it by saying Brittany came in and she did veneers on 5 and 6, and they just look so translucent, and we extended them by 5 millimeters, and it is not by that, right? You don't gain value by that, especially people like us. We come to the page, and what we want to see is Brittany came in because she couldn't even smile to her husband without hiding it, right? And so we did veneers on her, and when she saw them for the first time, she started crying, right? And here was her reaction, right? See how much more emotion that pulls from the viewer, right? And people who are in Brittany's same case can really relate to that, right? And so it's just so much more powerful when it comes to growing a following and providing the value to the viewers to get them to actually take action, right? So that's what we really hone in on is the emotional side of dentistry. Along with obviously, like Max said, showcasing the personality of the staff. We want to see who the creator is, right? And really get to know them and show how people's lives are changed. Because dentistry is, when it boils down, dentistry is a very emotional thing, right? There's a lot of fear around it, but there can be a ton of gain for these patients. Their lives can really be changed. So that's what we want to help our clients with. So here's a couple examples of veneer traffic style videos.
Oh my God. I really feel like I'm like in the presence of just an artist. When I saw his work, I'm like, okay, I want that.
I'm excited. I love them.
Here's why your teeth are aging you. Whenever we do a smile design case, one thing that we are always paying close attention to is how to make the person appear younger while not changing everything about them. It's just in their teeth. As we age, it's pretty common for a lot of people to grind their teeth, and it just makes that flat surface. That makes you look older. That tells me that you've had a lifetime of wear. We don't want that. We like a change in shape, a little bit of a change in dimension or length. That is what youth is. Look at your young kids and you'll see how they have those just little bumps at the end of their teeth. That is youth, and that's something that we bring back in our smile design cases, and it can literally make you look 10, 12, 20 years younger. It makes a huge difference in the way you carry yourself, You just age backwards when you get those little changes in design back.
My name is Jeff Stevens. I like Dr. Brown from the beginning.
Keep up the good work, okay?
Again, very personable, and the staff. That was one of the biggest things, right? Nobody enjoys going to the dentist, to be honest with you. They made it, I guess, as enjoyable as you can for going to the dentist, even if it's just teeth cleaning. Multiple dentists I'd seen over the last 25 years had always discussed because my bite came on top of each other. So they just said, hey, there's something you're going to want to do eventually just for your overall dental health, if that's the right way to explain it. Usually it was orthodontics, if that's the right way to say it, braces of some type. And as an adult, braces never really just fit. And he had talked about doing the smile design. We probably talked about it for around 6 months or whatever. Never any kind of pressure. When I thought, okay, I'm going to do this, I got a second opinion of doing something like that at my age. But that's what led me to finally say yes. It fit the timeline that I wanted. It fit the results that I wanted. My wife and my children, they liked it, and that was the main thing for me. Again, my smile was my smile. I was confident and comfortable with it, but I do really enjoy this. I like to smile. I have conversations with people all the time, and there's a little bit of a confidence, boost that comes with having a nice, healthy, bright smile.
When you think about the effect of these videos, I'm reminded of a show that Max, I think you mentioned to me separately that you watched when you were much younger, called
For
Extreme
sure.
Makeover, late
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s, if I remember correctly. And the dentist, Dr. Bill Dorfman, was the dentist on that show. And boy, people watched it, and it really helped drive the demand for veneers and to a secondary extent implants. That feeling that the audience would get relative to the extreme makeover recipients' emotions, it really pulled people in, and that show did a great job of really educating people regarding the difference that a beautiful smile can make to someone's life. So we're doing the same thing here in an incredibly direct way for that dental practice. So it's extremely powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Because not only do you get the feel of, like you said earlier, like the Netflix feel, right? Like the professionalism of the video, which helps the viewer say, "Oh, okay, he's an expert. He knows what he's doing," right? Regardless of how the work works, we think he knows what he's doing. But then you also get that emotional aspect of the people looking in the mirror and saying, "Oh my gosh," right? Like I'm in the presence of an artist. And like what better compliment as a dentist can you get than that, right? Not just a dentist, but an artist, somebody who changed my life, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's really cool to be able to bring to life some of these emotions for people.
And I'll just add a quick additional point here, and that is the dental practice culturally, mentally, emotionally benefits from doing this because they're now celebrating the success for the patient.
Hmm.
And they're literally all of them have this little bit of a celebrity feel about themselves because people are coming in as if they already know you and they're looking forward to meeting you in real life. Dentistry is stressful, and the day in and day out of it is very physically and emotionally demanding. And to be using media this way is a very reinforcing, positively reinforcing endeavor for the practice because they are really, number one, separating themselves from the competition, and two, boy, they're really underlining a really extremely positive aspect of dentistry. Everybody knows about root canals. Everybody knows about the stuff that hurts,
Hmm.
but the stuff that relates to the beautiful smile, that is extremely compelling to all of us. And it's one of the most wonderful things that dentistry can offer to a patient is whether it's a simple change, whether it's composites or bleaching or Invisalign to a full mouth reconstruction. Boy, these are the things that for a dentist and a dental practice, they become extremely proud that they are able to provide this to their patients. So it's a really smart move for the practice itself internally for the vibe and the satisfaction that is felt. And guys, I know you have felt this in the relationships you've developed, the effect that this has, the positive effect that this has on the staff that's there day in and day out. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, yeah, I'll say something and then I don't know if you have anything, Max, but I think it's super cool to because dentists will tell us all the time, like, dude, I get people telling me like, oh, I hate you. I hate coming to the dentist, right? And there's so many negative emotions with going to the dentist. So the great thing about focusing on videos like veneers or like implants is you're treating patients who you're significantly helping them, significantly changing their lives, right? So instead of people coming to you saying, I hate you, I hate coming here, they're thanking you. They're calling you artists. They're calling you, oh my gosh, like now I feel like I can be myself. Like I've heard these things. I've seen it day and day again of people breaking down literally in tears after they see themselves for the first time, right? Their new self, right? So the confidence that it brings to the doctors and to the staff, it really helps them realize, oh shit, what we're doing is life changing,
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
it just brings a whole new level of confidence to our doctors once they're able to see the positive effects that their work has on their patients.
Yeah,
And
you
then
bet.
we can showcase that via video. It gets them more patients. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, and I think that another thing it does is it really helps to humanize the doctors too, because a lot of people on, when they're looking, for a doctor, they're just kind of, thumbing through all the different options. And I feel like when people go to the dentist again, they just are scared. They're just there to get in and get out. They want to spend the least amount of time possible with the dentist. And I think that does have an effect on dentists. Like I think that, feeling like people don't want to be there, don't want to see you that can have a negative effect. But yeah, like Gage kind of said, it really does humanize the doctors and, makes them relate as well to their patients a lot deeper, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's a win. It's a win for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
For sure. So now I'll kind of go into more of the implant traffic videos. And we got to think like, who are the people that are going to be connecting with these implant videos, right? They're people who are afraid to hide their smile. So things we'll do is we'll jump into case studies and we'll say, hey, I had a patient that looked like this, and it's a gnarly set of teeth, right? Because we want people to feel safe. We want people to connect and say, oh, my teeth kind of look like that, right? So let's see. So the first one I'll walk you through is just a case review, a simple case review of what our doctor was able to achieve.
This is one of my favorite cases. So as you can see, the gummy smile and the decay. She had the trifecta. She was in pain. She couldn't really eat, chew because she didn't have back teeth, and she was super embarrassed. So aesthetics. The best option for this one was taking out the teeth and starting over. I ended up doing upper lower implants and then give her some nice custom teeth up top to match her giant broad smile. She hadn't smiled in years and years, and it's so cool. Emotion that when she got her new teeth, and when I see her now, she's got this huge smile, white, beautiful smile, and just touches me, man. Yeah, it's great.
So I think that video does a great job, and this doctor obviously does a great job at showcasing that emotion and showcasing how it makes him feel as the doctor, right? He's like, oh, it's great when they can smile and be themselves, right? So as simple as just a case review of showing, hey, I took this person from this to this, showcasing that difference is what we really want to hone in on when it comes to implants because of the significant change that happens. People don't realize that even if they have an F smile, they can still go to an A+. It's still possible, right? And it tends to create even more emotion for the doctor when we're doing our implants because it's such a dramatic increase.
Let's take a look at another implant video.
What frustrates me is that we have so many patients that go to dentists and doctors to ask them if they would qualify for a 3-on-6, and they say, I'm sorry, you don't have enough bone. You're gonna have to get the All-on-X. That's just not true. The way that we do the 3-on-6, we bone graft and we tissue augment. So we're going to be building up bone and we're going to be building up tissue to help you have enough bone and enough tissue to get the 3-on-6. 99% of the people that come in for a 3-on-6 with my office get a 3-on-6. So visit the link in my bio and you'll find all of the information there, or visit 3on6.com to find a provider near you.
This one's I feel like a good example of kind of the balance between, we want to sell the emotion, but also we do want to have call to actions in our videos too. Obviously it's important to, keep things light and keep things relatable, but at the end of the day, we also do want to drive specific results for our clients as well. And so we do like to put videos in there as well that will drive traffic to your website and stuff like that.
Let's take a look at one more.
So the most annoying thing for most people about getting a crown is having to come in multiple times. If you haven't had a crown before, the normal process for a crown usually takes between 2 to 3 weeks. Here we have it all done in a single appointment. You don't have to come back. So a same-day crown, we do everything in-house. We have all of the equipment and technology to build the crowns ourselves. The whole process, start to finish, takes anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes. We don't take impressions, we don't do temporary crowns. We design the crowns ourselves on the computer, and then once it's done, we mill it out of a solid block. We fire it in a furnace, and then we glue it on, and you leave with a permanent crown that you can eat on right away. Over the years, I've just tried to figure out a way that we could provide the best quality to a patient without costing a fortune. Our office is set up perfectly to do crowns and only crowns, and that's why we're able to do them so quickly and, most importantly, for a lot less money than everywhere else.
That video is a great example of how a practice that has in-house milling, most commonly CEREC, and they like it, they're good at it. This is a great way to differentiate yourself, educate, differentiate, and make it appear attractive. You know, just the concept of getting a crown in and of itself isn't all that exciting, but this was very interesting. And if I'm a patient going, oh wow, I can get it done in one visit, you know, that is something that will potentially pull me in to want to know more about that dental practice, particularly if I'm in need of a crown.
Exactly.
Well done.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now we're going to take a peek at is the use of video where it's a paid ad. Let's take a peek.
My wife and I created COVID Dental here in South Florida so that we could create a painless experience to enhance your smile.
COVID Dental felt more like a spa than anything else and any other dentist experience I've ever had. Wow,
So good.
I love it.
When patients come to COVID Dental, they leave saying they've never experienced a dental office like this before. I'm offering smile transformations for 10 people at an extremely discounted rate. This is when we take smiles that look like this and transform them to this. Go ahead and click the link below to see if you are one of the lucky 10.
There are a lot of people out there that aren't 100% happy with their smile. They want their smile to be beautiful, but they want it to look real.
When I saw his work, I'm like, okay, I want that. No, they seriously look so perfect.
Yeah. Everything that we do, we want it to look very high-end. We want it to look totally natural. We want our patients to leave here feeling like this is, for them, they feel like this is my teeth.
It feels like my smile just elevated.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't expect this much.
We are creating that thing that people want and that people need.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you. I feel like that's really what he restored to me.
Dude, that looks amazing.
It is worth the wait. I waited like an entire year, but it's definitely worth the wait.
So click the link below to start your smile journey today.
And with all these ads, we want them faster paced. We want them not to feel like an ad. We want it to still feel very organic and very authentic, but with a specific selling point in mind. And with a specific, like Max said, action item for the viewer to do. So call to action is what we say. So I don't know if you have any questions about that, Mike.
No.
Okay.
Again, I know you'll be editing. Let's go on to the next.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So the last style of video that we like to do is just, this is on needs basis, but just help our clients achieve a very aesthetic website. So we help them with some of their website content as far as video goes. So let me just share my screen with that. So this is a practice that we just helped in Florida achieve.
Dentovana was founded in Miami in 2014 with the simple yet ambitious purpose to redefine the dental experience, to transform dentistry from a place of fear into a place of comfort, precision, and care. For Dr. Giulia Guarini, founder of Dentovana, the journey began with her own difficult dental experience as a child. That moment of pain became her purpose, ensuring that every patient would feel trust, safety, and confidence in the chair. Her story is rooted in resilience and dedication, values carried from her family heritage in Germany and woven into her professional path. With determination and vision, she built a practice where technical excellence meets human empathy. That vision became Dentovana, first in Miami, where the practice has flourished for over a decade, and now in Sarasota, where comfort, design, and advanced dentistry converge. Dentovana is dentistry refined, a legacy of trust, innovation, and excellence, where every detail is designed to make you feel at home, and every smile is treated like a masterpiece.
So that's a video that is placed on the homepage for the website and it allows patients to get a sense for the practice and the doctor in literally a matter of a minute or so. And it is going to be compelling to a lot of people. Some people maybe, some people maybe not. But the point is, it engaged the viewer. It engaged that person on the website and left them without doubt a positive feeling about the doctor in that practice. So well done.
Thank you. Yeah, we're super proud of those ones too. I think it really helps create your brand and show a personality behind your brand when people visit your website.
Well, you bring up an interesting point relating to the brand. Most websites, number one, very high percentage of businesses in general have websites today, right? But a lot of them are, I call it, it's like the equivalent of a menu in the restaurant. It doesn't talk back to you. It's just got, okay, here's what we've got, right? Here's our hours, and it's the standard stuff that people can recognize is on other websites. And what you want is you want what's known as a smart website. You want a website that's instantly visually engaging, one that is speaking to that patient or prospective patient and answers that question, well, why would I want to go here? Do they have what I'm after? And you can communicate that very effectively with a short video on the homepage, and you can provide other information of value that's very important, like the phone number, like an AI chatbot that is answering intelligently. Some of these older style chatbots were horrible, and even AI voice, right? 10 o'clock at night, make the phone call, and AI voice is answering. So these are the types of things that are available today with a website that are a difference maker over time. Because your SEO is going to improve, the more dynamic the site is, the more traffic it's going to get, and ultimately the more patients are going to flow to the practice just off of having a superior website. You guys know this to be true as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. And we can go into it right now and talk about the results that this does for people.
Sure.
So this is one of our clients. His name is Dr. Jordan Davis. He's based here in Salt Lake City, Utah. His overarching goal was creating a veneer procedure strictly with composite resin, and he wanted to just skyrocket this thing. So we started posting with him. I mean, we've been posting with him now for 3 years, right? So very consistent. But what we've been able to do in that time is just insane. So he's now, instead of relying on other influencers to collaborate, he is now the influencer, right? So he has 250,000 plus followers on all of his channels. Not only has he generated millions of views, which is awesome and great to do, but he's been able to double his prices for what he actually charges, right? So now he's gotten to a place where he feels, oh, I can actually charge what I feel like I'm worth now, right? Because I have the patient flow. Before we came in, he was having a hard time booking consistent cases, and he was just relying on a lot of word of mouth referrals, a lot of what typically dentists rely on, right? No real marketing plan. And now we're at a place where he's been even booked out a full year. I mean, I don't know if you remember in that other video of that girl mentioning, it's worth the wait. I waited almost a year, right? Like this is no joke.
Which is almost mind-boggling that people are willing to wait, but the credibility, the authority that's established by virtue of what you've done with Dr. Davis, you can see why people are willing to wait months because they see the uniqueness and the before and afters, and it's extremely compelling. And I'm going to underline a quick point here, Max, Gage, and that is if you're a dentist and you love doing cosmetic dentistry, and that can be any form of restorative, be it veneers or implants or Invisalign, bleaching, composite veneers like Dr. Davis. If you love doing it and you want to do more of it, you want to do a lot of it, without question, this is the straight line between the 2 points. Video done right is the straight line between the 2 points to drive those type of patients to your practice. And what you've done here with Dr. Davis is his practice is thriving because of that focus, which I know there are dentists out there where they would really like to have that happen in their practice because of the type of dentistry that they want to be doing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, it's really cool to see what consistency over time can get you on social media, right? It's just it's what makes or breaks the practice. So I feel like 10 years ago, it wasn't as necessary. It was more of a luxury, but now it's almost essential to have. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add to that.
Well, we do have one more example to show as well. So this is Dr. Essie. He is in Tampa, Florida, and we actually started with him not too long ago. So he's kind of one of our examples we like to show because in our first 90 days with him, we were able to get him over to 10 million views on his page. And the thing that's really cool about social media is obviously getting, your first viral video kind of varies by client. But once you have that first video that, hits right with the right audience and goes viral, you'll see a incredible increase in your business. And so in the first 90 days, he's seen an incredible increase in patient growth from those videos that have done well. And he said that most his patients that come in say, hey, I saw you on that one video and, I recognize you, and kind of goes back to that authority that we talked about. So pretty cool to see that, there's a lot of cases where, this organic alone, literally just organic, can, turn into a huge increase in patient growth and business. So something that we like to show with this one.
Max, I think with Dr. Essie, I saw an interview that you guys did with him. He's had multiple practices, been in it for a while, and his comment was, this is the best investment he's ever made in contributing to the growth of his practice. The very best investment is the video production that he has done in partnership with GM. And that's different than a dentist who maybe, if you will, is relatively new as a private practitioner. It's their first practice. They're on the younger side, if you will. This is a doctor who's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and has experienced failures and some successes. And by far, this is proven to be the home run move for his dental practice. And that is really nice to see, because this is a practice that I think was relatively new to the market. Is that right?
Yeah, he was a startup. So I think it's extremely important to note that Dr. Essie had successfully scaled and sold multiple practices in the past, right? And this was his new baby, will you? Yeah, he ended up saying, yeah, this is the best form of marketing I've ever done in my career. So it's a super great compliment, but it just goes to show how powerful that video production and social media can be.
All right. So Max, Gage, this has been incredibly informative. I have been in dentistry for almost 50 years, and I can tell you that it's so nice to be involved with two talented young gentlemen like you who know what you're doing. You're honest, you're sincere, you get the results, and you guys know me well enough to sense my passion for dentists. And what they go through, I call it the mud, the blood, and the flood of being there day in and day out in a dental office. So to be in a position where, in my relationship with you guys, to be able to offer a dental practice a path that will allow them to go after those ideal patients, that works, that's proven, is, to me, it's great news. It's like a hot knife through butter. It's a no-brainer. This is absolutely the best way to go if you want to see significant growth in particular aspects of your practice, whether it's implants, veneers, Invisalign, you name it. The list of things that can be offered using video. So guys, my compliments to you. I want to thank you for your time today. Everybody that's with us, what I want you to know is, if you want to know more about GM Media and their partnership with my team at Gold Medal, just click the links below. We're going to get you more information about how this all works, and we'll get you connected not only with me, but the guys at GM Media, Max and Gage themselves. And I highly encourage you to learn more, take action. If this sounds like the right thing for you, now's the time. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having us on.